Hi Flosstube, it's Catherine, stitching in costume. If you're seeing this, it's probably Flosstube number 5, the second version. The first version I posted, I had technical difficulties. I started to watch it back and I had wind chimes and I was long, I was rambly, I was telling all kinds of crazy stories. So that's fun sometimes, but I feel like that one didn't really represent the best of who I am. So I am redoing this and I'm gonna make it as short and concise as I can and stick to my topics. If you're joining me, I'm in my sewing room still, but this is a different version. This is looking at the hutch my husband built, and it's got some of my collections on it. So here we go. We're going to jump right in with the month of May. I hope your mania is going well. If I didn't say it, this is a channel about cross stitch. And I share some of my life stories now and then, but mostly today we're going to focus on the cross stitch, just a little bit of quilting. So let's go with May, and let me grab my book here and let me just kind of show you where I am. So I am filming this today on Friday the 14th. And so we're halfway through the month, and I am really trying to do mania my way. So I am focused on specific projects for 3 days at a time. I'm trying to really kind of work on some of my bigger whips. I have a lot of bigger samplers that I'm trying to push through. So I'm really trying to stay focused and get those done so that I can start other things. And I do have a couple of little things that I might pick up and start, but for the most part, I'm really trying to do my whips. So the first thing I have up, I shared last month, and this is Scandi Heart Sampler by Historical Samplers. This is a great stitch. Let me see, where it is. Here it is. So I'm gonna hold it up and just see if I can do it without putting anything behind it. Let me fold the fabric back. That's where I am. Making sure I'm getting there. I have completed the birds, going up to the flower, and kind of moving along. So this is something that I pick up in the afternoons. If I'm up in my sewing room, it's not really like one of my big focus pieces. It's just something that I do from time to time, a couple days a week maybe. The challenge for me with this is it is 25 count linen, and I'm stitching 1/1. I'm using the Call for DMC, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. All those teeny tiny stitches. Well, they feel teeny tiny to me. I know a lot of you stitchers are pretty good at the higher counts, but I'm just really kind of dipping my toe into that water of working 1/1. And I have to say, Jean Farish, I have been watching on Flosstube. She has got some excellent tutorials on her Flosstube. And she has a really good one on stitching 1/1 that helped a lot. So I'm learning a lot about 1/1 stitching and having some fun with that. Okay, I'm going to move right into Jessie Watson. Now this is a SAL I'm doing with Barbara Raspberry Stitcher, and this is for the Jessie Watson Autism Awareness SAL. So we started this last month for April, and she has a great structure on her channel. So if you want to go look at Raspberry Stitcher, you can really see how she's got everything structured out for this stitch along. And this is a Hands Across the Sea. And I'm doing this one on a 36 count, and it is a Seraphim Buttercream. That's where I am with it. I did go all the way down to the bottom. You can see I had a frog because I got off on my vine a little bit. So now I backtracked, and I'm just going across the top. And let me show you my silks. I'm doing this with the Vicki Clayton silks. Let me make sure I'm grabbing the right one. And I don't think I've even put them. Yeah, I have. I put them all on. So those are the silks I'm doing. They're very, I'd say they're more of a fine silk. So it almost feels like I almost wish that I did this on 40 count, but it is pretty. It's a very pretty. It's like a lighter coverage. So yeah, we're having fun with that. We've been doing some Zoom, not Zoom. I think it's a Facebook meetup with some of the girls from Australia that are doing this as well. So I know Barbara is hosting different chat rooms where we get together and we stitch virtually. So that's been really fun. Meeting up with Nikki Noodles, having a lot of fun doing that. And all the other stitchers, Susan Stanley, she was in there last time too. So that was a lot of fun. So Jessie Watson, and again, Hands Across the Sea. So I'm doing a few of those and having a lot of fun with that. Boom, on the floor. Okay, let's go on. So I'm gonna work into an Assendell. So again, another Hands Across the Sea. I think this is the third one I'm doing. Beautiful, beautiful sampler. And I'm doing this one on, this one is on a 36 count that I'm doing, Lakeside Linen Vintage Pearled Barley. And I've got this on a roller frame. I'm gonna pull it open for you so you can see it all. And that is where I am. And I'm using the called for silks. I don't think I have those out. Yes, I do. I'll see if I can pull those up in a sec. The thing with roller frames, if I don't have the side hooked in there, this will just, they'll kind of fall apart because they're just, if you're familiar with the roller frames, they have like little nails that kind of bite the fabric. I found that for this particular sampler, it's so big that this was the only frame I had to fit it, or scroll rod. So there I am. I'm going across the top. I am working on that flower vase. My goal was to finish the flowers in the flower vase by the end of May. I hope I can work on that. That little over one flower, that was a challenge. But yeah, it's a beautiful stitch. I'm really enjoying that one. Let's see if I have the called for flosses. Do I? Yeah. So I made these little floss drops. And those are the called for silks that I got from the attic. Really pretty. And hope that's showing up. There we go. That's an Assendell. And I know a lot of people are doing that one, and it is a beautiful, beautiful stitch. Okay, I am gonna jump into, now I've got Ann Morrison. Okay, so this one is a stitch along with traditional stitches. I've shared this one before. And I got the kit from Traditional Stitches. So I got the 37 count Russian tea cake. I got the called for DMC. I got this cool little floss holder that was done by Needle in a Haystack. And let me pull that one up for you. So this one is on my Millennium frame. And these are squirrel rods as well. So I'm gonna try to go carefully. This one's a little bit more stable. And this is where I am. So I think I'm up to date on this month's section. So this month we were doing, we did all of the eyelet stitches, alphabet, and the little border underneath. So the thing that I did with this, that is, you know, I kind of went my own way. So I jumped in, I put it on the frame right away at the beginning of the month, and I started to stitch those eyelet stitches, and I realized, there's my practice right there. I realized that after I had done the first few, then I watched the Traditional Stitches video, and they were talking about doing the 16 leg eyelets, which I did 8. So that's the way it's going to be. So I'm thinking I will go down and as I progress into the other eyelet stitches underneath that I might do the 16 leg stitches for that. So we'll see what I do. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the way it's looking. Is beautiful. The colors and the coverage I really like, and I really love working with this linen. It's got a really good hand. It's substantial. It's nice though, in a good way. Okay, what else do I have to show? I am going to show you. So this is something I picked up, and I know Brenda, the sampler stitcher, and Laura, the serial starter. I know that they were hosting the Blackbird Weekend SAL. So I've got a couple of Blackbirds going, but I just pulled this out the other day, and I haven't really worked on this in a while. So I thought, let's see, I've got Christmas Garden, and this is from Home for the Holidays. Sorry, I should have maybe pressed it a little bit, but Yeah, that's pretty. So this is the Home for the Holidays book, and there's no picture on the outside. It's on the inside. So I think a lot of people, if you just Google that, you'll find it. It's a really pretty sampler, and it says Christmas garden at the bottom, and some people sometimes omit that, or they put their name in there. I kind of like Christmas garden. I kind of feel like I'd leave it up all year anyway. And the colors that I'm using for this, I'm kind of on the fence about that yellow. So we'll see. I mean, I really like it. It's a pretty yellow, but I don't know that it pops enough for me. That one is, let me grab my colors here. So that is Queen Bee by Classic Colorworks, the yellow. And the green is Belle Soie Collard Greens. That's my favorite green. Really pretty. The red is Cranberry, and that is by Classic Colorworks. It's a Belle Soie. And then Caterpillar is the brown. And it only calls for 4 colors. So those are the colors that I felt were fun to work with. Yeah, I'm liking it. And I've been playing around with stitching in hand. So it does go faster. It's just a little bit more fiddly for me because I'm learning. There's my clock. My bird clock. Sorry, getting distracted. Okay, so let's see, what else can I show you here? I have got one more to share. So this one is O Joyous Day by Blackbird, another Blackbird. And again, I think I worked on this for the Blackbird SAL weekend. And let's see where I am on that. This one is, like I've said it before, it's a bit of a challenge for me. I'm not gonna lie, the Blackbird can, I get off on the borders, but it's a beautiful stitch. And I'm doing this on the 36 count Legacy by Picture This Plus. And it was the called for, and I'm using the called for flosses. And that is a pretty stitch. And I think at the top, it calls for satin stitches to do that border at the top, and I think throughout, but I might just do cross stitches. I know Elizabeth Ann Ken Stitch showed her finish, and that's what she did. I feel like with this weave, it feels a little bit looser. I feel like my stitches might look better if I do cross stitch on this. So we'll see, and I think that'll be a little bit easier. So there's that one. And let's see, what else I'm gonna throw, I think that's all of my whips that I've got going on. I do have a finish. So this finish I actually finished before. I've shown this before, but I just now framed it. I had another frame that I got for it that I didn't really care for, so I ordered this one, and that's what I did. So this one is a sampler by Traditional Samplers. And I got this on Kitten Stitcher. This is just on a 32 count cream. It was before I was really making note of the things that of my fabrics. And I just used all my own flosses. So I talked about this one a little bit. This is the pink is the Meredith pink by Weeks. The blue is Sky Blue, and that's a Weeks as well. The green is a Collard Green, Belle Soie. That's my favorite green. And then there were just other random. The red one is actually a limited edition color that I had in my stash that I got on Kitten Stitcher. So yes, that one is a sweet little sampler. I'm really excited to hang this up on my wall. I laced it, and yeah, I'm learning how to lace. It's kind of a challenge. This is the sampler. So yes, you can find that on Kitten Stitcher, I think, still. I'm going to jump into, so this is kind of falls into my what I would like to do. This is a project bag that I made for, I have some Kathy Holden fabrics, and I'm going to share a few in a bit. And so I made this project bag, and I followed Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. She has a great tutorial. She has two of them for project bags. One is for all fabric, and this one is for, and I made that one as well, and that is a great tutorial. And this one is the vinyl fronted. So I had to make it a little bit bigger than her tutorial because I had this repeating pattern that I wanted to include. So this is actually a 16 by 11 bag. Plenty big enough for all my things. I put a stiff kind of a pellin in there, a fusible. I didn't quilt it, I just kind of shoved it in there, and it's a really, really, really easy finish. If you're looking to get into making project bags, her tutorial is very, very helpful. It's very clear, and she puts up images of the measurements it helped a lot. So there's my project bag for that one. So what I'm hoping to start this month and put in that project bag is the other traditional samplers. Well, I have another one, but this one, the second one, this is actually the one I really, really had wanted to do. And I don't know why I missed it the first time on Kitten Stitcher, but then I went back and there it was. And I had saved it onto my, my Pinterest board. And then I discovered that there it was. So I have, falls into a little bit of haul. So this is a 40 count Dusty Road linen by Seraphim. And I got a big piece of it. So I think that this actually will work for two on the smaller side. I have another one that I'm thinking of putting on this. So turning it that way and doing that. And so I have all kinds of different flosses that I pulled. I'm deciding what to use for this. I've got, let me see if I can, oh, there goes one. Again, my favorite green is this Belswa collared green. And this one almost looks a little more green than the first one I have. I've got the Gloriana Schoolhouse Red. I've got a couple of greens to play around with. I've got this Cotton Candy for the pink. And I'm going to pull the picture up so you can see it again. So yeah, I think that on this fabric, that's a good start. I know it calls for lavenders, it calls for purple, so I might have to have a consult with Barbara Raspberry Stitcher because she knows her purples and her lavenders. So there we go. That one is what I'm hoping to start this month. And so far, that's kind of all I'm planning to start, but I might start more, who knows. I'm going to show you a little bit of fabric. I have another project that I did for a friend of mine that is a tote, and it is something that I made for myself, and then I had the pattern. So let me show, this is the pattern, and it's from Fat Quarter Shop. It's a beautiful, beautiful print, and I made that bag, and then a friend of ours who is a nurse locally helped us all get the COVID vaccine, so we are all fully vaccinated. And so I wanted to say thank you for her for her help getting that done. And so this is the tote I made for her, and I used a French General fabric for the center. I just stitched in the ditch for quilting. I lined it with a red. Not perfect, but there's the back. Don't look too close. But yeah, it's a great size. I have this this size, and I use it a lot for grabbing, throwing, stitching, and pretty much everything. I use that one. I love it. Okay, I'm going to show you some fabrics. So I have, I got a little bit of a Kathy Holden bug going, and I went online and I started to do some searching, and I was lucky enough, I think this was eBay, I found this. This is the Flea Market Moxie, and yeah, this is the shop that I found it on eBay. And let me just do a little thumb through because I don't really want to undo that really cute bow. There's Kathy Holden. And it's just, those are the gum wrappers, all the fun, you know, it almost looks like a wood grain. There's a newspaper print. Get closer. They're all beautiful. I love this one because it's like vintage paint by numbers patterns, and all kinds of, and this is that like that needlework pattern. Oh, it's really pretty. I can't wait to make project bags or quilted something. I really love it. And then sticking with that Kathy Holden vibe, so you saw that I got some of the button, and again, this was at my local fabric place. We don't really have Joann's or anything up here. We're out in the country, but we have Ben Franklin Crafts, and they have a quilt section. So they have really, I luck out and I find really great fabric there. This is, but when I see it, I gotta grab it because I'll go back a week later and it's gone. And we know with fabric, when it's gone, it's gone. They don't very often repeat and reprint. So there's that one. And then this one I love so much. This has just got all kinds of cool flea market ephemera. I love the cow, the birds. I don't know if you can see all that. Let me see. I love that little boy with the ribbons, the hat. So yeah, I got a lot of that because I don't want to run out. I'll run out someday, but okay, so that's pretty much my haul. I got some thrift store things. You know what? I'm going to pause here and just grab a couple of charts that I found at the thrift store because I had an amazing luck. So one thing I want to interject somewhere is that I have been following Hedgerow Stitching and her journey into cross-stitch charts that she is doing from her historical samplers that she has been collecting. So I did purchase her PDF of Jane Thwaites 1828 and printed that up on my computer. On my printer, it is just beautiful. The quality of the chart is impeccable, and it's very clear. There is a color version, there's a black and white version, there's some really nice history that she adds in. She's got some great photos of ancestors of Jane. So I'm very excited to get cracking on this. This seems like it's a very good size for me. And so I'm really looking forward to getting some silks and more fabric to do Jane Thwaites. Okay, I'm back. So the first time I filmed this, I went through like every single chart and it took forever. So I'm going to just hit the highlights. I was in the thrift store and flipping through the craft section, and I see charts, right? Some cross-stitch charts. So I'm paying special attention, and I'm telling you, I started to get teary and very emotional because it felt like I was being given this gift from this stitcher that she wanted me to find them. That's all I can say. So this one is a scarlet letter. I've never done a scarlet letter. I don't even have a scarlet letter, but I've always wanted to do them. So this one is called the Martha Morrison Sampler. That's a great one. This one is the Frances Bliss and Lydia Hinckley Samplers. Those are sweet. This one is a Sheepish Antiques. Sarah E.A. Hunter. Really beautiful. This one is a Prairie Schooler, and this is the cardstock. I have this in the reprint that is paper, but now I have it in this as well. And I think that means I'm supposed to be stitching it, right? Another Sheepish Designs. This one's called the McCarthy Sampler. That one is really beautiful. Scarlet Letter again. This one I really like and I want to do right away. Eunice Burchard, or Burchard, 1798. And the thing that is so cool, it's God Save America. And what is so cool, when this you see, thick of me, so she didn't really get her spelling right. But that's why we love things like this. It's just so charming. And yeah, I love it. I love it. I want to stitch that one right away. Shaker Hearts Sampler. Really pretty. I want to eat that bread too. That looks good. Cricket Collection. This is Humility Sampler. And this is the Amish. I think they did a few of the Amish samplers. I really love that. The Prairie Schooler Holiday Homestead. Again, another Prairie Schooler. And the when I checked out at the thrift store, the clerk said, "Oh, there aren't prices on a lot of these. I'll just give them to you." And most of them were like 50 cents, maybe $1. And this one, a lot of the Prairie Schoolers, he just gave to me. So, oh, I was so lucky, I know. And Sunshine and Shadow, the Prairie Schooler. And I love this because the quilts obviously are beautiful. I just love it. I love the whole Amish traditions. Love to try being Amish for a week. Talked about that in the first version of this for quite a while. Let's have an Amish retreat. Jane, this one I love so much, the Jane Woodward Sampler. And this is by Canterbury Designs. Look at that, so pretty. Now that I would definitely kit up in silks and pull out a really beautiful linen and do that. So maybe, after I finish one of my other big samplers, that would be a start. Love that one. Cinnamon Heart Needleworks Pine Needle Christmas. Look at all those cute little, hope it's focusing. Yes, really sweet motif. Elm Street, which I don't know that I'm going to do this, but I really thought it was cute. All the houses. And then I started to look at the chart, and when I got it home and I realized that there's a lot of stitching and a lot of back stitching, but I have it nonetheless, and very pretty. This one's really cute. Folk Art Santa. That is a sweet stitch. This one, Keepsake Samplers, 9 traditional charted samplers. And this is by Leisure Arts. This is really pretty. That big band sampler in there is so gorgeous. There's some really cool, that looks like a, I want to say darning sampler, but it's probably not. Really sweet samplers. And then on the back, they have the spring, summer, winter, fall. You can see those. Am I doing this correctly? Cherubs. Nice. The Heart of the Family, and this is for Mother's Day. What? It would be for Mother's Day. It would be, every day is Mother's Day, right? Really cute. Yes, I love that the little one there. Well, I love all of those. Those are really pretty. And then last, the Cricket Collection Folk Art Sampling, and that's what it's called. And there we go. Cute little motifs. So yeah, I've got a lot of, I need to get stitching and I need to collect more fabric. Clearly I need more fabric and floss. So yeah. So that, I think, is all I'm going to share today. And I would like to say thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope you're all doing well and having fun stitching for May. And I'll try to get this posted and see if it goes a little bit faster with the time that I'm doing. And take care and happy stitching. Bye, y'all.